Hey everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is the 6th of the 1st, 2018. The time here is 09:23 AM, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well folks, times are getting tougher for the good and bad. What do I mean by that? Well, I want to give you an example of how bad it is here in Australia. Last night I went out with good friends of ours, another couple next door neighbours really, and what I was asked a question about what I was listening to on the radio the other day, and I said no, I wasn't listening to the radio, I was listening to YouTube. Well, that proceeded down the rabbit hole, of course, to questions and answers and, everything else. At the end of that conversation, they were both sitting there disgusted and stupefied and looking at me like I was a complete loony. And this is a civil engineer and a teacher. They couldn't believe, A, that what I was telling them was true, and two, that it could even be possible. And I said to them, okay, well, look, go and look for President Trump's latest executive order, and you will see quite clearly what I'm telling you is the truth. The whole parameter of that conversation made me realise just how starved we are of the truth here in Australia, because these are two people who are not stupid, and these are two people who watch the news, know what's going on apparently, etc., etc. And it made me think. I said to my wife on the way home, my wife couldn't care less for any of this, to be honest with you, but my wife said to me, she said, well, what do you think they think of you now? And I said, well, I'm sorry, I can't turn from this path. I said, I know exactly what's going on, and I've shown you bits and pieces of what's the truth, so I can't turn from this task, because in my mind everybody needs to be woken up. And that sounds like a grandioso individual thing to say, I guess, but is it my task really to wake everybody up? No, of course not. Is it my task to help people? Of course it is. And that's what I'm getting at here. I'm trying to help. I'm not trying to hinder. I'm actually doing these videos so hopefully you out there can show or send a link, because guys, I don't give a fat rat's really about how many subscribers I got, because I don't get paid to do this, by the way. At the moment anyway, I don't. Maybe I should ask for monetization from YouTube and start taking their filthy money. My task here is that hopefully that one of you will pass a link on to somebody else, and that person will pass. That's my dream here, is that I wake up as many people as possible. Am I going to change the world? No, possibly not. Can I try? Yes, I can. Can I help try and do that? Yes, I can. That's my point here, folks. I'll let you know what my neighbour says when I see him later on in my next video and relay what he says. But they didn't even know about the American shutdown on the travel systems the other day. There's been no mention of that at all here in Australia, just about. It's been like a blank canvas, news-wise. My other point here, folks, is that it made me also realise, I said to this to you all the other day, when this does come to pass, whether it's financial, personal, civil unrest. You know, you're literally going to have people sitting back going, dear Lord, you know, what's going on here? Bloody hell, this is just unbelievable. I can't believe it. Now, if it comes to pass, don't forget, this can go either way. This can come to pass whether Trump stays in office or Trump gets kicked out of office. Excuse me. Now, imagine what's going to happen if Trump gets kicked out of office in America, for example. There will be a civil war because they've, you know, I would openly say it as well, that they've kicked out a democratically elected president for nothing. But the other end of the scale is Trump stays in power, he starts arresting these people, the truth comes out. Do you realise how mind-bending that's going to be for people like my neighbours who don't know anything? I said to him last night, basically, your whole life has been a lie up until this point. Because we're the 50s generation. 50 years old, sorry. So if we're 50, this all started back in the 60s by the murder of JFK. And then it just progressively got worse right up to this date and time now. So my whole life has been one big fat corruption lie. Can you understand that, folks? If you're 30, you've been living in it a little while. If you're 20, you don't really give a crap. But if you're 50, like me, I'm 53, my whole life has been one big fat stupid corruption lie. Everything we've dreamed about, everything we thought about, you know, the baby boomer generation, it's all gone. All gone. Moving on from that, it also made me think about preparation stuff. You know, I said to them last night, you will need 3 weeks supply of food. It's as simple as that, because when this does hit the fan, regardless of whether it's good or bad, I mean Trump or Democrats, there is no two ways about it. There is going to be a crash somewhere of some sort, whether it's financial, truth, civil independence, war, you name it, it's going to happen, folks. And once again, we're going to be standing back going, you've got to be kidding me. This can't be true. Either way, there is no easy rabbit hole to go down. So if you're a family and you're sitting here listening to this now, do yourself a favour, go down to Woolies and Coles, go and get some home brand food, go to Bunnings and get a 100 litre box and start storing some stuff. Make sure you got 4 jerry cans of fuel, diesel or petrol, one of the two. Why 4? Because 2 doesn't fill your car, 4 almost fills your car. You can get 5 if you want. It's up to you. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you've got defences at home as well. Alright, I'll leave it at that. Folks, just want to give a quick plug to my Patreon page. 2 reasons I started Patreon page was, 1, so I can actually hopefully get some funds together to start fighting this Freedom of Information request to the Australian government for the Clinton Foundation contributions. That's all it's going to be for. It's as simple as that. And 2 is because I'm going to try to progressively move over to Patreon because of the fact that I don't think YouTube's got much longer to run in its current format. Somewhere along the line, there's going to be a very hard line come down either from YouTube or from the government as regards to information that's on YouTube, I believe. I don't believe it'll, in a year from now, even probably even 6 months, I don't believe that it will exist in its current format. That's my opinion. So hence the reason for Patreon page. The two reasons, sorry. Just want to go to BP Earthwatch and Jesse's latest video. Folks, if you haven't watched this video, you need to watch this video. This is a letter sent from the guy called Dunes. It's a very confronting letter, folks. The reason I say confronting is because if you've done any management training at all, you will understand. This letter was written after a phone call between these two individuals. Now, if you know anything about management training, if you have to get to that level where you ring someone and then you have to either send them an email or a letter, well, it tells you a couple of things. One, you've lost complete faith in that person or those parties that you're writing this letter to after a conversation on the phone. Two, you don't believe jack shit about anything they're saying to you at all, either it be individual or parties. Three, you don't, not only do you not believe them, you're actually telling them that they're liars to your face because you've just written this. And four, you don't want anything to do with them anymore. So this is a very hard letter written to this Rod Rosenstein. Watch the video because Jesse, geez, he's good at this. He reads this whole letter and gives you his breakdown on it, which I have to agree with actually. And he says more or less the same things as what I've just said. Basically that they've lost the complete faith in the FBI as regards to this matter. And they don't believe them at all. Now, he's given them until yesterday to hand over all the information, non-redacted by the way, so they can't redact any of the information. The sticking point is going to come when they get the information or they don't get all the information and they actually arrest Rod Rosenstein. Because this is where this is going. Which tells you that if he's prepared to get arrested, then there must be some horrible, disgusting, cretinous crap that these guys are trying to hide. They're trying to protect their ass and their asses of other people. So watch this video. Jesse does a great job. Happy to promote him. It's called The Hammer Comes Down on FBI Department of Justice. This is Greg Hunter. Needs no introduction. This is his weekly news wrap-up. Now the reason I'm actually bringing this up is because he goes through the executive order like no one else. This man is, you know, we all strive to be Greg Hunter, don't we? Let's be honest. If you're doing this sort of stuff. And, you know, I watch Greg Hunter for two reasons. One, his impeccable journalism is just 100% fantastic. And two, to learn how to do more investigative journalism, make myself better. You know, I'll never get to the levels that Greg's at, but he's just fantastic to listen to. Now, what he does in this video is he actually goes through and breaks down the executive order and what it means to all of us, and also what it means in regards to the breakdown as regards to criminality, arrest, etc. He mentions in the video actually that there's a 5-year statute of limitations, I believe it's called, in America as regards to criminality. Well, that expires on the 4th of February, I think he said, this year, for Hillary Clinton being the US Secretary of State. So basically that's less than a month away now. So if Trump's going to move, he's got to make the move very, very soon to arrest Hillary Clinton. if he hasn't already done so, but we don't know about it. So, and I think, moving on from Greg's, just watch his latest weekly news wrap up, folks. It's just a brilliant show, as always. This came out today. FBI launches new investigation into the Clinton Foundation. Well, I don't need to touch on that too much because of the fact that we all know where that's going to go. But here in Australia, the probes will focus on pay-to-play schemes and tax code violations, according to new law enforcement officials and witnesses who wishes to remain anonymous. This is big news, folks. Very big news. And it's the reason why I'm doing the Freedom of Information request as regards to the documents that I want. This is also very, very big news for Australians, financially. We're not hearing much about this, but it's very, very important. And I'm going to show you why in a second. This company here that they're talking about owns Freedom Furniture and a few other big, very big companies, excuse me, here in Australia. And they are dead flat, stony broke. Dead flat, stony broke. No two ways about it. And I'm going to show you which companies they are. This is a report done in the Financial Review, funny enough. Basically in the last couple of days. December 20, sorry. This all came to light a couple of weeks ago because these bozos missed a payment. Now, this is going to have a huge effect in Australia if these guys go under, folks. This is who they own. Freedom, Fantastic Furniture, Snooze, and department store chains Harris and Scarf and Best and Less. Now, obviously, if you're in Australia, these guys are going to go bust by the look of it. The lenders have basically walked away from them. Now, this is going to have a huge effect here in Australia, folks. Not just a little effect, financially. So you need to be prepared in regards to this matter, because this will send shockwaves through Australia when these guys go under. If you've got anything with these guys now, you need to either A, get your money back, refunds, etc., or B, make sure that you go and buy something now and take it home now, because it won't be there next week probably. The lenders have called them in. Everyone will be heading for the exit, said one source. Well, if they're talking like that, you know, and we've all heard that before, obviously, you know, they might be able to turn this around. But the article that I showed you from Zero Hedge, this guy here is actually now having to sell all his shares to keep the company propped up. And they're selling most of their stuff to try and keep the company propped up. So this is very, very serious for Australia, because our economy can't really take this huge knock. And you've got to wonder why they would let a company, just one company, own so much stuff. It's just completely stupid. Completely stupid. And in this business environment at the moment, folks, there's not too many companies that are going to come up and go, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll buy Harris and Scarf. No, of course not. They're going to let it go first They're going to let it disintegrate, and then they'll buy the, they'll pick the bones, meat off the bones sort of thing. So be prepared. It's coming. And here we go. I couldn't go any further without showing you the latest absolutely diabolical bullshit from our good friends, the libtards at the ABC. And I think I've made up in my mind, I'm actually going to start writing to these morons every day and ask them what the hell they're playing at with my money, my taxpayers' money, because this is just ridiculous. I think we all realise that. This guy's an absolute idiot. Steve Bannon is an absolute idiot for even getting drawn into this crap. But I've got to give them some credit, because they've said Wolf's credibility question. More and more political figures in the US and abroad are questioning the book's accuracy. Well, that's not the point. The point is that this was done the same as the Russian debacle was done. It's all bullshit. It's to keep your eyes and ears away from the actual facts. It's as simple as that. I don't think I need to say any more on that. Every single time, mate, this thing just freaks me out. Bible Gateway. Verse of the day, folks. Wash ye, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil, learn to do well. Seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Wow. Let me read it again. Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Unbelievable. Every single time I do this, it just gives me the right answer. And folks, as always, I'm going to end with the Lord's Prayer. Before I do that though, I just want to ask people to, as you're going about your day these days, just be drawn to the Spirit just a bit more each day. Because they will come after the truth, people, folks. It's as simple as that. Whether you're a Muslim, a Buddhist, anyone that's a truth speaker and a truth seeker, I firmly believe they will come for us 100%. Which is a bit of a worry, but I'd rather live in a world of truth and fight for the world of truth than to live, as I said, my whole life has been a lie. I just ain't going to do it anymore. I'm not doing it. No more. And I guess that's what you guys are doing as well. So we're all in this together. Good or bad. And I hope everybody realises that. And very soon, I guess you're going to have to make the choice of whether you're going to go for the ride or jump off and stand with the pedestrians. The Lord's Prayer. Let's pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. All right, folks. God bless. Prep out.